What's going on, people? It's your boy Forde, aka Forde Have Mercy. And yes, I'm safe, guys. Thank you guys for all of the messages and your actual concerns on my well-being. But yes, the main thing I'm here for is obviously the review of the Bristol City game versus Newcastle United. Of course, by now you've seen the result. It's 1-0 to Newcastle United. Excellent game. Not the best in terms of skill and ability, but in terms of result. And obviously that sees us rise up to 7th place, joint on points with QPR just outside of the playoffs as well. We're only 3 points behind Huddersfield. Obviously they beat us last week. So all in all, it's been a busy 7 days, 2 wins out of 2 in recent days as well. Now, the game itself, before getting onto my dramas, the game itself, as I said before, it wasn't the greatest of games. We got off to a good start. In fact, before I jump the gun, lineups. So, Newcastle United kept a similar team as the one that beat Reading. Sells was in goal again. God, you've seen some of the footage as well by now. Some of the footage is absolutely awful. It doesn't do Sells any favours whatsoever. Still looks a bit shaky in my opinion. But it looks like he's here to stay, at least in the starting lineup for the next coming weeks. In terms of the back four, Dummett obviously dropped down to the benches. Bit of a fall from grace, if I'm honest with you. I feel a little bit sorry for him. I mean, you go from being captain one week to being on the bench the other week. And obviously that saw Kieran Clark move from centre back to left back, and then Lascelles recalled as captain of the side. Anita still played at right back, and obviously Mbemba partnered Lascelles in the back four as well. In terms of midfield, Richie, awesome game again. Still needs to work on, I don't know if it's a confidence thing, but getting beyond that left back or right back, or whoever he's facing up against. I still want to just see him take on a player or two. In midfield as well, we saw Hayden, who had an awesome game, absolutely awesome game. I think he might actually be one of our best signings out of the whole 8 or 9. I can't remember how many signings we made. But yeah, Hayden had an awesome game, controlled the midfield, got the ball down, played it nice and simple, and that's something that we just lacked as a team in general for the past, God knows how many seasons. Since basically Tiote was of old, that old mould that we had of Tiote, keeping it simple before he thought he was all Hollywood. But anyway, partnering Hayden in midfield was Colback, so obviously got a call back to the team in the absence of John Joe Shelby, who's on the bench. And then of course Gouffran had another start to the team as well. 2 in 2 days for Gouffran. I honestly think he had a good game. All in all, I think he might actually be the winger that we're looking for, or in fact I think we've kind of resulted in not getting a winger, and we've probably had to use our resource that we've already got at the club. So all in all, it looks like it's going to work out for Gouffran. Best of luck to him. Hopefully he can regain the form that he had of previous years. Up front it was Perez and Gale. Gale, what a player we've got there. 4 in 4 games. This guy is going to be immense for us. And again, he got a load of stick, obviously, if you don't know the drama from before. He was due maybe to join Bristol City, maybe a season or so, but didn't materialise. And obviously, all in all, he just ended up joining us. So he had a great game, great finish as well by the guy. Took it pretty much, well, not first time, he took a touch and then got it out of his feet, scored. I'll get onto that in a second anyway. Diarmo started ahead of Perez for the game. And again, just shows what type of player that we have on our hands here. Absolute bargain at £4.5 million. And it just goes to show, once we use the same attributes that we've had in Sissoko to use effectively, we've got a real player on our hands. Obviously, he got the assist for the goal, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing Diarmo put on a black and white shirt now a lot more times in the future. In terms of Bristol City, if you haven't seen my preview with Sam, check it out. Pretty much got him spot on in terms of their lineup. The main guys to watch out for was Tomlin. I heard a lot about him, obviously from his Bournemouth days. And the guy up front, Abraham, on loan from Chelsea. He's looked awesome for them in the previous 2 games. Didn't have the service that required him to get onto the score sheet, but again, what a threat he was, and I think he can go far. The game itself now, we got off to a good start, which is good, and obviously promising, because previously before I've been getting on to Rafa's back, and obviously the team's back off, starting off too slow, but we got off to a great start. We looked to utilise Gouffran a lot on the wing. I was, as you could probably see in some of my other videos, that I could see Rafa's tactics. He kept saying to Gouffran to come out wide and kind of draw the full-back out wide, so to kind of spread the play, and it worked. It worked a treat, and we was hitting him on the counter-attack a lot of times, and obviously that's how we scored the goal in the 90th minute. Ball was with Diame, sprinting forward, clips a nice ball over the top to Gale. Gale still had a lot to do. He had to get it out of his feet and then struck it home with his left foot into the back of the net, and we're 1-0 to the good after 20 minutes. And that's what the start we need. I mean, we need to score within the first half at least to make sure that we get a positive result. That's what Newcastle United need to do, and that's what we did. After that, we kind of sat back a little bit and obviously allowed Bristol City to get into the game. Chances went quite close with Flint and Magnuson up. Those were their best threats. I'm assuming, well, not even assuming, that's what I saw in front of my eyes, in fact. Dangerous from free kicks and corners. Obviously, with a guy like Aidan Flint, who's about 6'5", could be a basketballer, they're going to go close. And it was good to see Lascelles marking him up, you know, taking responsibility for that one, because he looked a very big threat. Going into the second half, I think they made one change. Was it O'Dowda? Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. We pretty much kept things the same ourselves up until, you know, the final dying minutes of the game. Perez came off, or came on, and also Gale came off, Aarons came on, Shelby came on, and who else came on as well, made a third substitution? I don't know. Anyway, all in all, fantastic game, as I said, fantastic 3 points. As I said before, Bristol City, in my opinion, I think they showed us too much more respect. I think they should have at least got a draw from the game. They weren't very close, especially in the dying couple of minutes of the game. They should have, I'm not going to say had a penalty, but they should have went close with a couple of decisions. I thought the referee had a bit of a shocker on both sides as well, if I'm being unbiased. But all in all, obviously I'm happy to come away with 3 points. Now, let's get into my situation. As you might have checked on my Twitter timeline, I went missing for a little bit. Well, not missing, stranded to say the least. Company that I went up with, I'm not going to name any names. Basically, there was a mix-up in communications to say the least. Left Newcastle at 6 AM in the morning to get to Bristol City, hopefully around the 12 o'clock time. We didn't arrive till about 1:30, reason being, a coach that was travelling down with us, part of the same company, got delayed, or not even delayed, got stranded, not even stranded, broke down, sorry, I'm still trying to recall the whole situation, broke down, and then obviously the passengers on there had to be dispersed onto different coaches as well. So obviously some coming on to us, and that was cool, but again, obviously that delayed us by an hour. The key thing that I got told in that conversation there during that 1 hour is that we never leave any passengers behind. Yes, and if you're people that was on the coach who are watching this video right now, you know who you are. After that, obviously we went down to the game, good atmosphere. So that was cool. Then we got to the game itself. Now after that, this is when the melee kind of occurred. So we got dropped outside of the grounds, not really told a destination of where we picked up. And obviously this is my first time with the company, first time going to Bristol City as well, so I don't know where I'm going. So after that, got dropped off, started doing a couple of fan cams, but the weather wasn't too great, so again, if you're watching the footage, this is the reason why. But again, I managed to get some good reactions from some of the fans before the game. After the game, as you probably could tell, it was a bit of a nightmare trying to get around and speak to people. But yeah, went to the game, came out of the game, and then obviously I'm trying to find this coach park, and for those who've been down to Bristol City, and obviously it's a new stadium, that I could not find anything at all. Like I was asking stewards, I was asking people like Newcastle United fans, Bristol City fans. I managed to meet a group of guys that I actually interviewed before the game, Bristol City fan and a Newcastle fan, who took me under their wing once I found out that basically these guys have probably left me by now. It took me a full hour to find out approximately where the coach would have been parked, but by then I was told by people on the bus via Twitter that they had gone already, so there's no point even trying to look around. In the meantime, I obviously got to get some good footage as well, just off around the ground, got to see the players going back onto the bus, and before I obviously met up with the guys that kind of took me onto their wing, I saw the Newcastle United bus going past, so that was nice to see, but obviously in my situation, it wasn't probably the best of situations anyway. After that, the guys that took me onto their wing took me to Bristol Temple Meads, I believe it was, via train. Got to there, checked the train prices, and it was 150 quid to get back to Newcastle. And bearing in mind, I'm a student at the moment, I've just finished my master's degree, and bearing in mind, I've just already paid a return coach ticket of 40 quid. I did not want to spend 190 quid on Newcastle United, plus the actual ticket itself, which is 30 quid. So all in all, that's 220 quid on an away game. Sorry, I'm not made of money. As much as I love the tune, I'm not made of money. Luckily enough, I have good friends in Newcastle United. I called up Z from FNA Films, who's putting together this film called We Are the Geordies. Make sure you guys check it out. And she managed to get me on the National Express bus for less than half the price, basically. After that, God, the journey began. The coach went from Bristol down to London, so again, that's a good 4 or 5 hours, and then again it went from London back up to Newcastle, which was another 4 or 5 hours as well. So all in all, it was a very, very long journey. I ended up getting in about 6:30 in the morning, spending a complete 24 hours on the road. Main thing is that we got the result, 1-0 to the good, and obviously 6 points to show from it in recent games. So yes, and obviously, and the killer thing was as well, I had work the next day as well, so I had like 20 minutes to rest up. But thank you guys for listening out for my pain, and thank you guys for the kind words of wisdom as well, and helping me trying to get, you know, a place or a way out of Bristol. No offense to Bristol, but I wanted to get home. So thank you guys for listening, and as always guys, thank you again for helping me get to 1K. The numbers are slowly starting to rise as well, and people start to acknowledge the good work that I'm trying to do for the club, and just as a whole for you guys to create good content as well. So thank you guys for listening. As always, keep yourselves occupied, because I will see you very, very soon. Oh yeah, shoot, before I go, the Cheltenham game coming up on Tuesday. Unfortunately, I can't go to that game, so there'll be no fan cams from me. But check out my boy Lee Lawler on Newcastle Fans TV. He does fan cams as well. So if you don't want to miss out on the opportunity of getting on fan cams live, living in colour and in person, should I say, then make sure you check him out. He'll be around the gates outside of the stadium as well, by the Leicester stand, I believe. Also, I'm going to be doing my own thing though. If you guys have got time, please send in your reactions after the game. Things like, you know, what was the key moments in the game, goal scorers, how did we look, if we've won, lost and drawn, stuff like that, because again, I want to put together a video that kind of replicates the fan cam video, to put out hopefully on the Wednesday, or maybe even the Tuesday night if I've got time, just so I don't miss out on good content from you guys as well. So I'll leave my details in the comments box below, or the link below. If you've emailed me before already, then it's the same email, or just send it to me via Twitter. But hopefully I want to get you guys reactions via video, so please try and keep it around about the 3-minute mark, and then just let me know how everything went on. But that's what I'm going to be doing come Tuesday, and again, hopefully see you guys all very, very soon. Keep it tuned. Peace.